Some students know that their voices count and they can make a difference. Some students are out protesting and don't even know what the cause is. Take a look.
Our teachers brought us here today.
For what? What are you guys protesting? Are you testifying or?
I don't really know. I guess we're protesting today.
We're trying to stop whatever this dude is doing.
But Colin Schmitt's mission is clear. He's on a crusade to stop double dipping and close a loophole that allows state officials from collecting their pensions and full salary. His campaign is called Stop New York Double Dip, or Stop NY Double Dip. And he joins us now from D.C. But it goes on in a lot of places, Colin. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. No, it's a problem, across the country, but specifically in New York. A loophole allows those elected before 1995 in the state legislature to concurrently collect their full pension and full salary. So basically there are close to 70 state senators and state assemblymen in New York who can participate in this. 11 took advantage this year, which means by December 31st, 2010, they retired.
So what are you doing? What are you doing about it? We get it goes on. What are you going to do?
Absolutely. Well, I founded StopNYDoubleDip.com. It's a petition that any New York resident can sign, and we have 3 action points that asking first to close the loophole, second to require those who are currently double dipping to either choose the pension and retire or just the salary, and the third is supporting legislation currently pending which will remove all elected officials in the state from the pension system and move them to 401k plans.
This is a great plan. Hang on there. Stay with us. Juan, this sounds pretty darn good. This is bipartisan. Everyone agrees with this, no?
Why would everyone agree with it?
You don't. Double dip away?
No, double dips are wrong, and that's part of the problem. We have too much of that. But you can't just make unilateral decisions. Right now, in fact, the reason that USA Today had 60% of Americans today saying you can't just do away with negotiating bargaining rights, collective bargaining. It's bully behavior. You certainly are there wrongs and things that have to be negotiated out, but you can't just beat people up and tell them go home.
Hey, Doc, if I'm not mistaken, if you're we had him on the show before. There are cops who've murdered slews of people, 11 people. There are 2 cops in jail right now in prison for the rest of their life, but their families are collecting their pensions. There's loopholes all over the place.
There are loopholes everywhere, and closing those is absolutely critical.
Juan says you can't.
Yeah, no, I did not. I did not say that. Of course you can negotiate it. You can't just do it by yourself and say, I've decided if you are dealing with something that's signed, sealed, and deleted for the workers.
But I do think we've lost sight of just some kinds of reality. If you don't show up as a teacher, for instance, and you've been out sick when you weren't sick, you should be fired.
Right.
If you're a doctor who wrote those notes, you should lose your license. If you've been double dipping, you should be held up to public ridicule and made to leave office. If you're a senator or a representative who hasn't shown up to the state legislature, somebody should put together a fund around the country to which I will donate to remove those crackerjacks from office.
Monica?
Right. No, I agree with Dr. Keith.
Yeah, so what's the argument here? Everybody agrees with Dr. Keith.
And the reason
Well, finally, man.
I don't know.
How long have we been doing that?
I know, but I mean, what's the argument here? What are you trying to set up? What is the argument? What is someone supposed to defend? Corruption?
That there are people in play that don't want any changes to the pension system. We're here saying pension reform.
No, to the contrary. To the contrary, the unions are willing to negotiate. They just don't want to shove down their throats.
On certain things.
And certain things. Only because now literally there's a gun at their head, right? And they have no choice. Look, the reason that we're talking about all of this, the reason that all of these loopholes and double dipping and all this outrageousness is coming to the fore is because the states are broke. The federal government is broke. There is no money. You cannot get blood from a stone. And that's why we're looking at all of this, right? Responsible governors, Chris Christie, Scott Walker, John Kasich, they're looking at all of this and saying, we've got to close these loopholes. We've got to rein in overall.
But I don't hear Monica talking about this being a time of recession where we can't afford all these tax cuts for big business.
Very quickly, Colin. We only have a few seconds, sir. Go ahead.
I just wanted to respond that we're not necessarily going after the unions like Juan's worried about. We're going after those elected officials who are supposed to sacrifice by being public servants.
You see, if they want to double their salary. We're going to run up against another heartbreaker. Appreciate your time.
But Colin's right.
Coming up next.